Welcome to another Sick Podcast Anvil Show live. I guess we did it so nice. They want to do it twice, back to back. Yeah, we're just gonna roll right into this because live is much different than start me up, Sammy. But you can start me up, Sammy, if you want to. Start me up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. And Bill Show.
Intercepted! Marlon Jackson! Marlon's got it! We're going to the Super Bowl! We're going to the Super Bowl! Marlon Jackson with the interception! He picked off Tom Brady!
The sickest Indianapolis Colts podcast. It's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be sick. Let's go ahead and bring my boys in. One of these motherfuckers got to get ready to go to sleep with his sleepy ass. There he is. What's up? I'm always whining. 1:30. Anyway, so
I do gotta wake up at 1:30.
Go to 1:30. All right, let's officially get this ish started because there's a lot of ish to talk about. Pat, you gonna be quick on your combine talk because last time you didn't talk about it.
Nah, it's all right. Just we'll skip combine because I dealt with the flu all week and I had very little time out there, so there's not a whole lot to go on.
Fuck
So
it, bang that bitch.
Yeah, bang it, baby.
It is officially, as of yesterday at noon, legal tampering season. Oh my God. This is the most exciting time of the whole football year for me, even beyond when football is actually being played, because there's the opportunity for new blood within your organization. And it's always like, man, are we going to do something different than we did last year? And then you kind of find out, if you're a Colts fan, probably not. But here's the irony with this year. This is literally the irony this year. Chris Ballard has spent a lot of money, and we only got one new face, and he's not even like a face that is someone that you be like, oh yeah, this dude is significant. It's actually a Dolphins guy who he's a fucking monster of a person, 6'7", 325 pounds. I'm sure he's gonna support the run game and all that, but he's not any of the top dogs we were hoping for. So we have to kick the floor open with, how do we feel with all of the re-signs and the extension? I'll start with Big Red over there. How you feeling?
Well, before I say anything, I'll have to show you what I'm talking about. Obviously, my boy Grove's back.
There it
Supporting
is.
him. And then there's this right here.
Oh, wow. Look
right
at
here.
this fucking guy.
Right there. Yep.
Right.
Taking care of business, baby. Let's go.
Okay,
taking care of
Kenny,
business.
Kenny Grove.
Yeah, that Ken Mo, Big Grove action, baby. You know what it is.
That's pretty dope.
But yeah, just fucking excited, man, that we signed a lot of our own guys. Got a new face. Free agency still ain't over yet. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But I'm excited for the future. We believe in our boys. We got so close last year. We got a good coach, obviously, and a damn good quarterback coming into the season. So I'm ready to see what happens, baby. Still got the draft, too.
Indeed. It's kind of, like I said, it's unique because we had a lot of players that, yes, we wanted to see return, but I was kind of wondering what that would do in the event that it actually happened. Because one thing that people can't say anymore, if they were even saying it at all, is the Colts don't take care of their own. We have literally taken care of our own this offseason. And that actually started in the season by taking care of Jonathan Taylor, though that was kind of muddy. But, I mean, all the significant players, maybe there's one left, Julian Blackman, I mean, that people want to see come back. But all the significant ones, remember we had to talk a couple weeks ago. I didn't think Grove was coming back. I didn't think Kenny was coming back. Damn, I love to be wrong here. I get to wear my Kenny Moore jersey for 3 more seasons, so I'm fucking excited. But, P, how do you feel about the names that are returning? So just so everybody knows, if you don't know, Michael Pittman got the big extension that we thought. Kenny Moe got the extension. Re-signed. Let's see, Grover re-signed. Rigo re-signed.
Zaire got an extension,
which is a good move, seeing how you're taking care of that early because next year we're kind of lighting the tank for. Ooh, we need to bring those guys back. Really, to be like Quiddy Pay and a couple and Dio
But
are the
Buck's gonna
names
be
to
the
watch.
biggest one.
Oh, and Buck next year too. But actually, this potentially this move is for Buck next year
It
to
could
make
be.
sure Buck's money's
Well,
right.
my question goes out to the fan base because I can't say names or anything like that, but I see a lot of stuff being spit on Twitter that that they're not happy. They're
course,
not happy that we've re-signed our own guys.
of course not.
I'm like, why? You'd be upset if we didn't sign Pittman and we signed somebody else. Oh,
Yeah.
we've been training him this long and da 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 da. Why didn't you re-sign him? So now that we did, now that we're re-signing all our key pieces, you're still not happy, and I don't understand it.
But I think you do understand it. This is why you do understand it. Okay, let's be honest. These dudes are important. Kenny Moe, Grove, Michael Pittman, all the things. This is still not a playoff team, and you're bringing back a lot of the same blood because I get it. Consistency and continuity absolutely matter, but
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 what's to say new blood is going to make you a contender?
that's not the point. The point is
To me, it's the point
no,
because you
no.
don't know. I would rather stick with what I know and trust versus the unknown.
But
Now, I'm
that's
not saying it's a bad thing to bring new blood in, but when you got talent with the blood that you have, you keep it.
no, that's not the issue. The issue is if there is one, I'm gonna speak loosely. I'm trying to err on the side of caution of speaking, with a broad brush. But what I'm trying to say is if there is an issue, it's the fact that though you bring all these pieces back, you have not addressed the issues we already had. You haven't addressed the cornerback situation because Kenny's a nickel. So you still need an edge. You haven't, if you will, address the wide receiver situation. I mean, you have, but have you? Because is Alec Pierce really the number two? I mean, did we want to double up there? You haven't addressed the safety issue. I mean, I get it. We have a heavy rotation of guys when it comes to the D line, but a potential person like Danielle Hunter was there. Of course, we've seen what Burns got, so that probably wasn't going to happen because that was giant dollars. But did we still didn't pick up a significant this guy can win, all the time and he can have 15 sacks a year type situation. It's still early. There still might be some bargains to be had, but I think that term bargain is where people get into that whole like love-hate relationship with Chris Ballard because it's like, dude, are you always looking for the right price? Even when there's tons of dollars. This is not the first time the Colts have had tons of money. One year we had upwards of like $90 million going into cap, going into the
92.
offseason. It was insane. As a matter of
92.
fact, and I forgot that was when we learned about they have that when you haven't spent a certain amount of money over multiple years, you run danger of losing that money in like the third year or whatever it is. Like we were like running up against that. It was crazy. I was like, I've never even heard of a situation like that where we're banking that much money every single year. So you're right. You don't need to go out and get every free agent, but then you start to see certain people signed and you wonder, did we have that? I mean, Danielle Hunter, right? Apparently we talked to him, but now he's going to our rivals, right? But I mean, is that somebody you get super excited about? Well, the dude had 14 sacks last year? Maybe. Fucking Khalil Mack, old ass. He's 33 years old. He has 16 and a half sacks last year. It's insane. What does he cost for a year or two? I don't fucking know. But he's 33 years old too. So are we thinking about winning? And I think that goes into the forte too. Because I was actually talking about that on Twitter. You got to think about when are we winning? Is it because if you're winning now and we're ready to roll right now and we can get it done, sure, Khalil Mack looks real good. But if we're still a year or two away, Khalil Mack does not fit the payday. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like those
Absolutely.
conversations are mighty vital to be having. what are we really looking like? And all that's a fucking crapshoot, right? Like, who knows? We can fuck around and shock the world next year and be the number 1 seed in the AFC and fucking kill it, maybe. But are you planning on doing that? I don't know. Other teams are retooling because they like, we're right there. Like, we can win tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm sure the Niners are like, fuck. Second time we've seen the Chiefs in 4 years and they beat us both times. Like, we're right there. So let's tool up if we're going to do that. But I would actually like to see Eric Armstead. Bring him back and put him right next to Buck like they were in San Francisco 4 or 5 years ago. Let's fucking do that.
Would be nice. That would be
That would be
extremely
nice.
nice. And we got Samson too.
Who's Samson?
Ibuka.
Oh, and Bukum.
Yeah,
Yeah. Off the edge. My bad.
Yep.
I was thinking, yeah, but see, I don't even know if that works now because we bringing in the kid from Miami, the big dude.
Hey, everybody in the chat, what's up? Glad we're back too. We will do a questions and answers thing. We're going to try to save all your guys' questions. So if you can wait till the end, and then we'll get into a question and answer session with y'all.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to go over real quick. So we're not paying attention to you on purpose. We're just a lot of information to get out, and then we'll get into some questions.
Yeah, what he meant is we're not paying attention to you. But forgot about that. So while we have you, please like, subscribe, follow on all the things, YouTube, Instagram, the X, of course. You can find me at Colts Clyde on the X. Where can you find you two weirdos?
You can find me at Big Country Colts on X. You can also now find me at Big Country Anvil on TikTok.
Yo, big ass with a TikTok is scary. Where can they find you?
Big P Colts on X.
Still the worst of them all.
I don't know why you hate me. I don't get it.
All right. Wow. There's Craig. We're not. You know what, Craig? This is why we haven't been live in so long. Omaha.
Craig's the one that got us banned from lives, y'all. Just to let you know.
No shit. Craig, do not. It's not a family show because we still curse like a motherfucker, but we're not bringing that type of speed to the Sick Podcast. Now, I will say this though. Let's jump back on this. Okay. So Chris Ballard been active mostly with our players. Good to go. Fine. Twitterverse is going nuts right now because there's still 2 players that I think are now 1A, 1B. One is Quandre Diggs, who was released by Seattle, and the other one is, of course, L'Jarius Sneed, which Kansas City after that.
Change.
Apparently, the Colts have been super intrigued and or interested in L'Jarius Sneed, and I think Quandre Diggs would just be a great pickup, even though he's old, on the older side. He's north of 31. I think he might be 32. What do we feel about that? Because with no Justin Blackman potentially coming back, now the safety room, or damn, why I keep saying that? Justin Blackman was a whole receiver. Julian Blackman, my bad, Julian. My bad, jump man, Julian. And it was reported earlier that he has unfollowed the Colts, which could ascertain that he's had that tough end of season conversation with Chris. Like, hey, there's people are going to come back and there's some that are not. Who knows? We're just fucking assuming at this point. But L'Jarius Sneed, Quandre Diggs, and or potentially you got Justin Simmons out there. Other guys at safety could be there as well. How do we feel? What's priority now? Is it corner if we're going to spend some more money? Is it edge? Is it safety? Where do we spend whatever's left that we have to spend on free agency, in your opinion?
Well, the reports I got, and this is just coming from Zach Hicks' Twitter or X, whatever you call it. He was saying there's still about 25 to 30 million in cap space. Now that's another Colts content creator saying that. I don't have actual evidence from the Colts.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure that number out because we spending bread, but
yeah, you put that in the group text, and I was like, yeah, fuck, how much have we spent? That brought up a good question, but that's what I've seen so far, and that's all I've seen out there. But to answer your question, I got to ask a question, and now you got to play GM.
Questions
You know,
with questions are always a terrible thing, by the way. But
it is, but it's too hard to answer your question openly because there's just so many variables. But so you're going to have to play GM right now. And
okay.
my question back to you is, did you find somebody in the draft that you like better than Blackman? Do you trust Nick Cross to handle that? Do we have enough depth if Cross goes down again? There's a lot of questions before I can answer that question.
So this is my thing.
Especially at safety.
Oh my god, this is my thing. At some point, and we've addressed this multiple times. At some point, you have to get beyond the marquee building process. Like we got a top 15 pick. Use it wisely and or trade up and get something for it. Awesome. But no longer should we be like, oh man, we got to steal. He's a round 3 pick. We're gonna go all in. We've ran that gauntlet too many times, and sometimes we hit. Sometimes we do. I mean, Jumpman, he was like a 4th round pick or something like that. But I mean, I don't know if the Malik Hooker thing is something that we just learn from. I don't know if the Rocky Yasin thing is something we should learn from. But what I'm saying ultimately is sometimes you have to say, this guy looking for his second contract is where we're going. In the draft for me, right? You should be to a point at year 7 as our GM where you are now, no kidding, just putting like garnishes on your plate in the draft. If you're still looking for the main course, we might have other issues. And I feel like that's what we rely on the draft too fucking much, man.
Well,
way too much as a Colts fan base. Way too much. We fucking depend on this draft, bro. And I'm kind of over that, bro. Kind of over that. Not fucking pick over it, but
you're over it because you're not seeing the results that we should be seeing.
Because motherfuckers are literally leaving. Dudes that we have learned to, no kidding, like love and adore, have played their entire career out. It's only 4 years on that rookie contract, and they're moving on, or they're getting traded out of there, or whatever the fuck. So you're like, what the fuck? Like, it's not working. It's not working. The draft is not working for us. Hard take. Put that out there. Everybody watching live, and we're gonna come to these later. Is the draft working for us? Okay, I'm gonna shut my mouth. Go for it. Go for it, P. Speak your mind.
Yes, the draft is working for us. The draft works for
he's not gonna deny his daddy.
But like Daddy says, you don't hit a home run on every one of them. I mean, come on.
Because who gives a fuck about round 3 and 4?
You guys know this as much as I do. We've been in a quarterback hell for the last 6 fucking years.
Okay, we got to get away from that.
No, you can't, because you're speaking the same bullshit when we didn't have a quarterback and we were relying on the draft.
Joe Flacco came.
We didn't rely on the draft. We got Wentz. We got Potato Head.
Fine.
We got
wait a minute,
fucking No Legs Ryan.
Okay,
that's free agency. You didn't want to depend on the draft, did you?
Ryan.
We got all these guys to fit that in free agency.
No, Pat, don't do that. These were
not the draft.
This is what people are talking about. See, you got to understand. Don't just speak loosely. What I'm saying is those were not marquee names in any of those years. Those were 2nd tier, 3rd tier guys at that point. I get it. Matt Ryan may be a Hall of Famer one day. Matt Ryan was once a top 5 passer in the league, all the things. But when he walked into our door, he was none of those things. Carson Wentz, when he walked into our door, he was not the rookie quarterback that was doing the crazy shit in Philly. That wasn't him. So yes, those dudes came from free agency, but that's not swinging and missing on, like who's Brian Burns, for instance. That's probably the biggest payday yet so far. He got a massive payday from the Giants. That's not swinging and missing on that guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the same. In my opinion,
Ballard swing and miss on Q.
You know,
Bobby O, Anthony. Now,
but he don't even play for us no more.
That's part of the game.
That doesn't even make sense.
It's part of the game. It is 100% makes sense.
That doesn't make sense.
This isn't 1950. where you get drafted to one team your entire career unless that team trades you.
But if he swings and he hits on a player that he knows fits the scheme and is a team guy and all this thing, you find a way to make that shit work.
Okay, but you can't find a way for everybody.
He's showing it that he can now. What the fuck is the difference?
All right, look how much he spent this week. What, say 120?
I don't know what the fuck he spent. Moral of the story is I'm saying
something like that, right? But we've got 5 guys re-signed. That year he re-signed Darius, his guy. He spent 80% of what he's already spent on 5 guys on one guy. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, but that wouldn't front load.
You cannot retain. You cannot retain everybody, Clyde. You just can't do it. It's not financially possible.
Well, you're not talking to a wall that doesn't understand. But what I'm saying is you can't keep redrafting the same positions and still calling them needs either. There's got to be a middle. No, fuck no. Fuck no. That's not what you do. Fuck no. Because you have the same issues. If we had an issue at corner last year, let's just be fucking realistic. If we had an issue at corner last year and it was due to lack of veteran presence on the outside, not necessarily veteran presence in the room, but on the outside, true talent on the outside, because these are kids out there playing. How does bringing in a new kid fix that? Talent or not? They still got to go through the learning curve of playing in the NFL. So that doesn't make sense to me.
Because some people's curves are a lot shorter than others.
Fine, but you don't also, in my opinion, pair that with a need. You get lucky sometimes, but not because you need it.
We'll take the safety position. Take the safety position. If you're looking at a recruit coming out of college that you believe can fill Blackman's shoes from the get-go, but not cost what Blackman costs, would you not go for it? You could be right. You could be wrong. It's always a 50-50 coin toss when you're drafting people.
Well, I say no because he wasn't the one that needed to be replaced.
He
was the free safety. We needed to get the strong safety.
I get it. I'm not saying he needs replaced, and I like Julian. Julian is one of the biggest personalities I've ever seen out of a professional football player.
Fair.
That kid has fun day in, day out. I absolutely love Julian. I love his production on the field. I want him back. So nobody take that wrong. What I'm saying is if you're trying to balance your checkbook and you see somebody that has the potential to fill this role, but his price is down here versus up here, you go for it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's just the nature of the beast. It hurts. It hurts all of us because we get used to these players. We like these players. We buy their jerseys. We follow them on Twitter. It has everything to do with it as a fan. As a fan.
No, it does not.
But that is part of the reality of what we go through year in, year out. And it's not just the Colts. Every team goes through the same shit year in and year out. Just because of the salary cap, you can't keep everybody.
But that's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is when you address needs on your team and you say, well, fuck, I have been missing on this same position for 6 years or 7 years or 3 years or 2 years or whatever. The answer is not redrafted because you're still starting over. That's my point. The point is bring in somebody that can fucking play it because guess what? They got NFL tape. Bring them the fuck in here and let them play it. And then that's no longer a need.
Okay. They brought Hunter in. I read about that, but he signed with Houston.
No. When I say bring them in, I mean sign them motherfuckers. That's what I mean. Not just go talk to them like that. Well, who gives a fuck about a chat? Like either you go fucking pay my bills and be here or you not. Like don't come talk to me. Don't come to my house. Like, are you coming here to stay or what? Yeah, crack a fucking beer and sit a while. I'm with that too. But no, I'm just saying like that is my issue. My issue is we have addressed the trenches every draft. And that shit is still not solidified on either side, right? All the complaints about the offensive line last year, we have literally drafted an offensive lineman every year of Chris's fucking existence. We have had stellar years, then people retired. We said, oh, we can let Glowinski go. We should be fine. And then we were shit. So now here we are addressing that same thing again. We actually had supreme amount of production last year from the defensive line as a collective. Most sacks in team history, pressure. That was absolutely not because pressure is what we do in a defense. Just like I said, effort over scheme. And yet we're still addressing the trenches. What the fuck? Like, there's never a time that I feel like your team is perfect, even if you win Super Bowls. You're always, I hate this word, my wife knows it, tweaking. But we're not even tweaking because we have it. We're still implementing. That's my problem, Pat. Like, that's a whole different. Like, it's like if once you get your car, your dream car, and you're working on it, and you're like, all right, cool, I've done all the hard work. When you're tweaking, you're just like reading about new shit. Oh, you know what? I can try this new little, bolt-on toy because my engine is already completely. I'm not building that shit from scratch. We're still building from scratch in a lot of places on the team, and that's unacceptable. Country is going to bed because he's old as fuck. Thank you, Country. So let's get some of these comments up and some of these questions up.
The first one I remember is what's your thoughts on Minshew going to Las Vegas?
No thoughts. I figured we could probably, and if you look at it, he's getting 15 mil over 2 years. I figured he had a little market, but that market, even to me, doesn't say starter market. That says stopgap, but better than a 1-year stopgap. So for all that he is, I'm happy. Like I'm not torn to pieces by any means. He did a great job. He had moments where we wanted to rip our fucking hair out. So, I mean, we hope for 100% healthy Anthony. Who knows what we're gonna do with quarterback number 2 now? Lots of things to be discussed there, but by no means am I devastated. Happy hunting in Las Vegas. That's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. I ain't got nothing against Gardner,
Right.
but he definitely ain't gonna take any team to the promised land.
Okay. Next.
We've seen it.
What else we got? Well, who's up next?
Who's up next, Sammy?
Send some draft capital to get T. Higgins. That would break the bank, Matt.
Big time.
Yeah, T. Higgins is. Whew, they franchised him too. Good God.
If I'm going to send draft capital, I'm sending enough to get Harrison Jr.
That's my point. Now that one. Now that's not contradicting everything Clyde just said, but we have not drafted an elite wide receiver, and many of them have gotten away from us based on what we chose to do in those drafts. So we already talked about the DK Metcalfs. We already talked about the AJ Browns, the scary Terrys, and there's probably a few others we missed out on by going a different direction. So in this case, yes, when you've seen talent at a big time collegiate program and you know that he can produce, and oh, by the way, there's some lineage to the organization because his father was a legend in the Ring of Honor and in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, you come up and get that kid.
Yeah, Jones says he likes Quentin Mitchell at 15 quarterback. I don't know this name.
Cornerback Quentin Mitchell.
Yeah, Quayon Mitchell or something.
Yeah, he did some good stuff at the draft. Again,
Did he?
This is when you draft corner, bro. You draft corner when the other corner solidified. That's just my theory. You don't draft corner when that corner is not solidified. I'm not saying Juju's not the guy. I know Juju, barring some kind of crazy setback, should be the starter over Jalen Johnson on one side. But at the same time, not Jalen Johnson, Jalen Jones. But at the same token, that's not solidified enough yet. So I would rather have a veteran come in, i.e. the L'Jarius Sneed, to help grow and develop with the help of Kenny in the slot, the Jalen Jones, and the Juju Brents, versus putting Juju Brents in year 2 and saying you're the man and here's your new running mate over there who got to learn like you did last year. That's still a deficit to me. My thoughts.
Tyler says it's Ballard's fault we don't got a damn QB. We do have a QB.
Well, I think he was addressing your 6 years of QB.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah,
never
that
really
was
know how
brutal.
that's going to fall. Like, by no means in year 2 were the Colts projecting like, oh yeah, we're just going to wait it out, and one day we're going to get this incredible off the charts athlete, 4 years from now. Like, no, it just doesn't work that way. That's a year by year thing. But I get it. He didn't want to take any risk on any of the guys that potentially were there. And as I think back and look back and try to figure where we always drafted, it would have been a crazy jump to come up to try to get somebody, but that just worked out the way it did. And he did the best he can. I'm not even gonna hold him to that. But what I'm also saying is he was also building a team at that time where now fill in the blank with a QB, you should be ready to roll. And I don't think we're there. That's my issue.
Now Matthew says giving up Bobby was absolutely ignorant. Okereke and Franklin would have been nasty. Absolutely. And I 100% agree with you on this one, Matthew. Bobby was a good friend of the show.
Yeah, Bobby and
hated seeing him go. But
this is no knock on EJ Speed, but Bobby and Zaire starting is a much different than Bobby and EJ starting.
I'll agree with that.
EJ coming off the bench with them two as our primary two backers in our nickel primary formation, whole different ball game.
I'll agree with that.
Which is why I was secretly hoping that we may sneak in Patrick Queen, but we didn't. the fucking
All right, Adam J says, I think Ballard could pull a Trent Richardson trade and Big P would still call him daddy. You're damn right.
Unacceptable. Good call on that,
But
Adam J.
I would not. Just because I still call him daddy doesn't mean I wouldn't be busting him up for that.
Okay, what else we got? That's a good one though, because man, I remember the Trent Richardson deal. We thought we had fucking stole the show, and that was a shit show. Yikes. That's kind of traumatic, actually, as I think about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get through these, you guys.
Oh my god.
Here we go. Thank you, Sammy.
Oh fuck, Arshawn. Look, man. Okay, Sam I am. I know he had that little preseason run and whatever. Man, look, nothing about Sam I am says professional NFL quarterback. Just nothing about it. Who am I to say that? I get it. I know what he did at Texas, but you know what? We gotta let that shit go. It's time to just let that shit just fall off the map. Like, am I super excited that maybe we bring in a guy like Tyrod at 35 fucking years old? Absolutely fucking not. Was I actually kind of secretly, this sounds crazy, hoping that we could sneak in somebody like Mariota? Fucking right, because I think that he would do well in a Shane Steichen system, but that didn't happen. So I don't really know what happens at backup quarterback, but I'm trying to tell you, number 4, let's just let him walk out the door.
Well, this is the way I see it. If we wouldn't have had Minshew and we had Sam, we would have been picking a lot higher than 15. So if QB1 goes down, I want a high draft pick. Bottom line, I don't care. If my QB goes down, I want a draft pick. Fuck it, the season's over with.
Oh god, that is a great point. Sam I am probably would have us in Marvin Harrison contention.
Yeah, we'd be sitting at 3 or 4 again.
That is a great point. So for that,
yeah, thanks, Gardner, you dick.
For that, keep him on the run. No, don't. I mean, kind of. Fuck, just don't get hurt, Anthony Richardson. But if you do,
a bullshit.
Yeah, hey, I'll tell you this right now. If Anthony Richardson goes down again, fuck it. Throw Big Q back at QB. Fuck it. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do.
Keep him on the roster. Bro, damn, fucking wrecked. Oh, shit. We would have, we would be up there with the Bears, bro. We would have number 1 and number 2. Yeah. Sam would have got us 3 wins. Fuck. He would have got us 3 wins.
Thank you. But this way, we're at 15. We didn't even make the playoffs.
Swiss Army knife. I like it.
That's a lose-lose if you ask
I
me.
fucking
Not
like
a
it.
win-win.
Probably could have got Michael Pittman cheaper too because he wouldn't. Let me chill the fuck out, man. I do not want to bash Sam like that. Sam, we just having fun, bro. But yeah, you are
I
the
got a
Swiss
guest
Army
coming
knife.
in. Come here.
Oh God, she about to get Omaha.
Nope.
We will Omaha her. Oh,
Omaha!
you did not do a sound check, little lady.
What the hell? Huh? He Omaha'd you. Can you hear him? Say hi.
Have you been sitting in my chair?
Say go Colts. Say go Colts.
Bruh.
When you going to school?
All right. I better get back to work before I get in trouble.
Oh, you about to get screamed at.
Hit your mama.
She don't want to go out there.
All
Okay,
right.
what else we got? Give me a few more before we get out of here.
Where we at, Sammy? Joe Flacco.
Joe fucking Flack. That's what I just said. So when you were making your quarterback tizzy, they pulled his old ass off the couch and he was fucking cooking until the second quarter of that Houston game. Then they just forgot to play football. But yeah.
Yeah. Shane Gregory says, on a serious note, if Richardson is our dude, 100% focus needs to be on O-line and can run block but can't pass block.
Look, man. I talked about this last year. I like Dalton Reisner. He's also a free agent again. I mean, he's nothing to write home about, but he was pretty solid in his days in Denver. And I think he's leaving Minnesota now. I mean, I know we be trying to find these fucking like steals, man. But fuck, bro, you gotta pay certain people. Like, fuck, bring Mark Lewinsky back. See if he still got some shit in the tank. I don't fucking know, but Will Fries ain't it, bro, and French ain't either, and shit. Next,
I'll agree there. Well, that and because there's some stud O-line coming out in this draft.
oh God, here you fucking go with this draft.
I know. I'm telling you.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
draft. Fuck my life.
Hello,
Anyway,
Rebecca.
hey Becca, why aren't you putting him up there? Stop reading them for yourself.
I can't put him up there. Sammy's got to do it.
Oh my bad. I thought we controlled it last week.
No. Sammy and them do.
Oh, that's true.
But I can see the comment, so I'm trying to keep the flow going.
Oh, okay, where's that at? Yeah, there. Jesus, that's a long one.
The AFC South getting stronger while the Colts stay stagnant, or do we trust the process? The South is making moves we haven't made.
Ooh. You want to take that one? Talk about your daddy and his team. Ooh.
Hey, I'm happy so far. I'm okay with re-signing our guys. You know, just because we didn't go out and bring in a shiny guy, I'm okay with it. You know, but free agency isn't over. You know, we still have the draft, but we have got our core roster back.
Okay,
and that
maybe
makes me happy.
No, again, I'm not against any of the signings. Let's just put that out there. Clyde is not against that. But the same team didn't make the playoffs, and the team that did win the division, pretty much focused on Houston. They get a better running back in Mixon than they had in Devin Singletary. They get another dog on the other side of not Ed. It's not Will Anderson they drafted last year. So they get Danielle Hunter on the other side of him. I think they brought in somebody else too that I can't quite remember. But they've done enough to continuously
Adam J, help us out.
They have done enough so far, and they will continue to do more, in my opinion, to make CJ Stroud not a one-hit wonder. So, with that said, now they got a full year of quarterback play in their freaking record books and in their freaking, video clips. So they know what they're working with and they know how to appreciate him and put more around him. We have to do the same by keeping Anthony healthy and have that same thing. So we could be a year from now thinking about, okay, now we know we're locked in. This is what we need. But right now, man, fuck. They came from the bottom of the basement and have taken the top. They are the top of the division. They are the division at this moment. I'm not crowning them in the words of of Denny Smith, but we knew who the hell they were, and we let them off the hook. They were trash 2 years ago. We knew what they were. We let them off the fucking hook, and now they are forced to be reckoned with. We just got to deal with that.
That's fine.
Okay, fuck it.
That's fine. Because
Okay,
if you're
okay,
gonna
fuck it.
if you're gonna be the best, you got to beat the best. That's
Oh,
all there is
shit.
to it.
Okay.
And I'm going to remind everybody, and you too, Clyde,
Mm.
that the Colts have always played to the talent. So just because Houston has done this, and this, doesn't mean we won't step up to the challenge.
But we haven't been
always have.
consistent since the Peyton Manning era. We weren't even consistent in the Andrew Luck. The only thing that was consistent in the Andrew Luck era was that we were going to beat Tennessee every time we played them. That was the only consistency when 12,
I'll
was
take
running the
that
show.
win.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good. I mean, he went undefeated against them and all the great things. But I'm saying, like, we have always struggled. Like, even like every year, like we look at each season over the past 2 to 3, and you like not even being funny. Like, bro, 6 of those games could have went the other way. Like, it's crazy to think about that. To be like, no way last year's team could have possibly been 15-2. But if you look at the games, you're like, yeah, we could have. What the fuck? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's an insane swing. I'm sure other teams can do that. But now kind of sounding, kind of off the rocker, almost oxymoronic. Like the Colts have shown consistency each year that they can be much better than they have been. But you are what your fucking record says. And like, you know what? That's getting old. The Carson Wentz year, dude, what the fuck? We were 9-8, didn't make the playoffs. We already know the following year, 9-8, won the division, talking about the Jags. Then last year, we're up at 9-7 versus 9-7 for the division. So 10-7 takes the division. Okay, cool. But in 2 of those 3 years, if you look at how each game broke down in the games we lost, we could have had double-digit victories every fucking year. That's crazy. And we ain't made the playoffs, none of them. More insane. Like, that's the type of shit I'm talking about, P. So when my theory comes from, like, you got to stop drafting the same positions or constantly going to the draft to fill needs, it's because even Chris Ballard said himself, like, he'll mention a game every season. He'd be like, man, the daggum XYZ game when this happened. That's what I'm talking about. You go get the talent, the veteran talent out there right now to ensure you win that game or those games. Because that doesn't even make sense. As fans out there, just think about that. There's so many fucking games, bro, over the past 3 seasons where you're like, dude, we could have easily been 12 wins or more. And sometimes talking about hosting a playoff game as far as like a higher seed, maybe a 2 seed. The Carson Wentz year was absolutely insane. That was a 9-8 season, the first year of the 18 game format. And in all honesty, we should have been 13-4. Last year, swing or miss a couple times, 12-5. But it keeps yielding slightly better than 500 and not enough to be in the playoffs. That's got to stop.
That's why I made the comment I did about our QB1 going down.
Yeah, okay. But I'm telling you this. This ain't even with QB1s. This is with them. We'll just call them. the class of Colts quarterbacks. Them. Come on, man. This is crazy. This is good. Phillip Rivers came because this is the proof in the pudding. Now, this was a whole different team, 4.5, 5 years ago. Phillip Rivers' old ass came in here, zero mobility, not a strong arm anymore, and didn't win a division, but got us to the playoffs and won 11 games. And that was with a super brand new rookie fresh team. Come on, bro. Come on, man. So, yes, Phillip Rivers was, I guess, better than all the quarterbacks that we had brought in. And maybe him and Matt Ryan coming in before they actually played for us.
No, because at least Phillip Rivers, and I hate saying this, at least he could complete a pass. Matt Ryan threw more balls at their fucking feet than I can count.
Well, that was once the
And
season
I hate
started.
Phillip Rivers.
Me too. But when you seen his ass in camp that year, talking about Matt, he's like, "Oh man, Matt throwing that thing like he
was. He was. As soon as the season started, he was a different dude.
Oh my god! All right, Daniel. What Daniel says, can you make it make sense to pay for a backup quarterback when we clearly are all in and on AR? Well, I mean, you got to have that backup, but I don't understand what you mean by paying him. You want to have assurance back there. You do. And
Yeah.
because last year was the fucking season, if there ever was one, where the NFL had to take a look at like, fuck, are we gonna be able to sell tickets? Because dude, there was a time when there was like upwards of 12 or 13 like backup quarterbacks starting in a single week. It's insane. That's basically half the league. Who the fuck want to see that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they try to change the rules and make it safer or whatever, but like, shit, freak accidents happen. That's why everybody was on our head about Anthony Richardson. I'm like, dude, he wasn't playing reckless. Andrew Luck played reckless. Like, Andrew Luck's like, fuck you, 245-pound linebacker. I lift weights too. Yeah. And at first, that was fucking the shit. You're like, oh yeah, year 1, year 2, you're like, yeah, it's a bad motherfucker. Year 3.5, 4, he's like, yeah, these train wrecks are starting to. These train wrecks is getting crazy. Okay, what they say? Draft a Purdy last pick in the draft. Yeah, I mean, get you a Mr. Irrelevant. Got to get lucky there. You know who I might like? No bullshit.
As a backup?
Yeah. You can go to the draft for that. You know what I might like? It ain't gonna happen. And it definitely won't be a quarterback controversy if it do. But go look at Joe Milton. Go look at fucking Spencer Rattler. Like, none of these dudes are gonna be top 2-3 picks. You can't get these dudes in round 7.
No.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind taking a look at Spencer Rattler. How you say his name? Spencer whatever the fuck his name is. Him or Joe Milton. Like, yeah, I'll look at them in round 4 or 5 or some bullshit like that. Why not? Because the guys that y'all are mentioning, Ronnie, like Tyler Huntley, yeah, maybe.
No, I wouldn't be upset with Huntley.
We definitely shouldn't go get Justin Fields is ridiculous. Like, I know that's been like trending lately, but that's absolutely
I don't even know
ridiculous.
why that's trending.
Please don't do that bullshit. Because the first time AR has a rough 2-week stretch. Oh, you should put in C, and then now you got a bunch of crazy shit. So I'm definitely not on that wagon. And if he brought them in, would it negate play like Snead? Like, who we talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Calvin Ridley go out and get him. Pierce is a bust. Yeah. Okay, yes, Calvin Ridley is proven. I won't say Pierce is a bust, but I feel like he's more of a rotational player. That's why I want to solidify that wide receiver too.
That number 2.
So I feel like you can do that in a draft. Now, again, y'all know I've been talking crazy shit about the draft. That's fine. But there's certain things you
but
feel
now
like
you're going to it.
No, because you got Michael Pittman already. You got Michael Pittman, you got Josh Downs. Okay. So now you're just adding weapons. Like, there's no different than what we did with Peyton, right? So Marvin Harrison was first and 98 or whenever that year was. No, wait, Peyton drafted was 98. Did we give Marvin Harrison first? Marvin Harrison might have came before Peyton. I feel like he did. I feel like Harrison came in like 96.
Trivia question, because I have no clue.
Yeah, we drafted Peyton in 98. I feel like Marvin Harrison came in like 96. Somebody look that up for me. But
he did retire a lot earlier than Peyton did.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he came in like 96. I think so. But then, in 01 we get Reggie Wayne. Maybe 02 is Dallas Clark. Then we start getting a little, like the little guys, the Stokelys end up coming to us and just other shit like that. We just kept giving Peyton more players to actually throw to and make the offense more potent. So with this draft, I feel like you can do that. Now, Jelani Woods looks like a fucking monster. So am I all in still on Brock Bowers like I was 2 weeks ago? Maybe, maybe not. But if we hold on to 15 and we just kind of see how the chips fall, and sure, we probably miss out on Marvin Harrison if we don't jump to the sky. But you watching Rome Odunsi from fucking Washington, you kind of see what's going on with him. You're looking at Brian Thomas. You're looking at, neighbors. And you're like, oh, these dudes are within striking distance. You go get one of them some bitches. And you just paid your veteran for 3 seasons, and you got 2 still on rookie deals. Well, 3 now on rookie deals with whoever you draft, and they're all elite. And then you're going to go with the tight end room you've already built and be happy with it. And oh, by the way, you still got 28 standing next to 5. Now it's a party. It's a motherfucking party. And
My thing
I'm here for it.
was Bowers. I would not mind having that big old dude on our team.
Rumbling up the gut. Yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't really utilized the tight end since Dallas Clark.
Mm-hmm.
So to me is,
damn.
If you know your offensive plan is not to heavily include your tight end for like a Kelsey or a Kittle or a Bowers, people of that nature, why go after them? Why spend the draft capital when you know they're not going to be heavily in that offensive plan?
Yeah.
Like you said, keep what you got. There, it's a good rotational backfield in the tight end group. And you've got multifaceted sets out of everybody.
Right.
So if this play, you want your best blocker out there.
Fair.
You're sitting in Kyla. If you know this play,
no, that's not. You're thinking in Ogletree.
Or Ogletree, yeah. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with that. So that's why I said that before. Like, it depends on how you want to look at it. But I think right now, if we had to keep 3, I think Mo's gone. At some point, I think Mo's gone. But I think you have healthy Jelani. You have Ogletree. We already know what happened with the case and all that, so he should still be back in the fold. And you got Will Mallory, and you have Kylan Granson. So you got 4. You got 5, actually, if you consider Mo Alley still on the roster. You have more than enough, and they all do something different. They all do something well.
Kimberly mentioned Sam Hartman from Notre Dame.
No, he can't fucking throw from me to you, bro. He's got a noodle arm. I mean, I get it. I know that, pull for the hometown guy, but he's not even from hometown. He just played at Notre Dame. He was like a fucking senior transfer dude. I don't know. No. He's got to be able to run the offense. Noodle arm.
Arshawn says 1996. I'm assuming that's when we got Harrison.
Yeah. Arshawn and a bunch of people said 96. Appreciate that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just now starting to catch up on the chat. You guys, sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, who foreign players would you bring in to consult with the secondary? Well, unfortunately, Aaron Glenn is doing a hell of a job in Detroit. It's their DC, even though that team just can't tackle to save their lives. But, I mean, I like what he did. Like, who do you bring in? I don't fucking know. There's a lot of guys. I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys. I don't know who's in the coaching world right now. But I don't know. I'm sure there's I just can't think off the top of my head, but I don't even think that's it. Coaching matters, but I feel like you just got to understand what it is that is asked of the player, and can the player do what's asked of him? Because we found that out with Rocky Sin. He could not do what was asked of him. I think he had talent. I mean, he was a wrestler, strong hands, but keeping people in front of him, not grabbing and holding as much. Shit, man. Like that was a fucking nightmare on Elm Street.
See you next Tuesday, Tricia.
Oh God, this Omaha heard the fuck out. Jesus Christ.
I knew that got you going. Destiny, thank you.
Yeah, so I thought today was gonna be a big day for the Colts, and it was. It just was a big day in-house. But we got Kenny Moe taken care of. Michael Pittman got taken care of yesterday. We extended Z yesterday. Rigo, I was up in the air with that. Seemed like the injury, not even an injury, the injury and, his health concerns from a couple of years ago. He just wasn't himself, but they still believe in him. So we'll go there. That's 2 years in a row now that we've taken care of special teams in a big way. Remember, Matt Gay got a lot of money last offseason. Yep. Rigo gets his deserved money, if you will, this offseason. And then like Grover, huge pick. So that definitely, or huge resign that definitely, puts country at ease. But I say this like I started the show before we get out of here. None of that addresses what our real issues, the real issues. Okay, the real issues. None of that addresses what the real issues were. So I know it's still early. It's day 3 of legal tampering. I mean, it ain't even fully 100% free agency yet. But we already know by the time it is, all the players are fucking gone anyway. But there's still
See,
names to be had.
I'm in agreement with Shane. He says we just need to focus on O line. I think so. I think so too. I think so
Shit.
too. I said it last week. I'm saying it this week.
Oh my god.
You know,
You gonna draft O-line again and go back
yeah.
through that learning curve? Fuck my life.
Linemen don't go through learning curves. Damn it.
Oh, horse shit.
Nah, they just get better.
You are
with better.
insane.
They get better with better coaching.
You are insane.
Have you ever played on the line?
Fuck no. But did you not
that's
watch?
That's why.
Okay. Did you not watch the evolution, if you will, the young evolution that is of Bernard Raymond? I mean, that he had to learn on the fly, but
He got
sometimes,
better.
but it was a swinging door last year too. At certain
The
times.
thing is about with your O lineman, your technique is your technique.
Okay, fine.
Now, with better coaching, you can hone that technique. You can get faster with your feet. You can get stronger with your arms, your shoulders, your back. But your
Cool.
job is basically the same your entire life. That's your O
Fine.
lineman. Now your receivers, your quarterbacks, everybody else. No, they progressively learn and grow and do different things year in and year out. Linemen don't.
But when there's proven talent in front of you, and you actually have the means to bring said talent in, like you have to make difficult choices. I get, but certain things I'm just not going to, because we already talked about this. You are putting the team through another season of learning and adjusting together, which sets them back. I mean, Big Q is going into year 7 or whatever the fuck it is. Darius is already off the squad. We already talked about this. Bobby O is a New York Giant now, and all the other shit that's happened over the years. You don't have time to be like, okay, we're tweaking it, we're getting it together. Sometimes you got to plug and play and you got to roll.
Okay, but that's why when you draft those marquee players, with your first pick in the first round. So you don't have to go through that. All right, you're going to tell me, have you watched the tape on Joe Alt out of Notre Dame? Go watch, and you're going to say, no, he's day one ready.
I don't.
You don't have to do that. I'm just saying, and there's quite a few offensive line out there that's day one ready already.
Okay, you know what? That sounds great. But I tell you this, and it's not just
trenches, baby. Give me that meat.
It's not just based on one thing, but my guy from Michigan, he did the same amount of reps as a running back as Joe Alt did.
Yeah,
and I mean they both put up a mountain of an effort. It's like 31 to 32 or whatever the fuck it was. But that's just letting you know, like a running back is as strong as him. So it's not always about footwork. It's about, can you, no kidding, detain the man in front of you? Can you keep him in the box?
You can definitely tell you had never played on the line. It's 100% about the footwork. Everything else comes after that. Absolutely, 100% about the footwork.
Okay, well, what about run blocking?
The same. Your footwork is the key to being a good O lineman. And then then it goes into.
I don't give a shit about that. You can. It's
and
fine.
That's why you want all these shiny fucking free agents.
No,
and you don't want to draft nobody.
I have never heard somebody say, you know what, this lineman has amazing footwork, but he has the shortest arms I've ever seen. No, it's a whole package. No. Fuck off with the bullshit. You're like, okay, I get you.
But the O lineman,
footwork, that's fine. But
the O lineman I'm talking about don't have skinny, short arms.
Oh, okay. Now,
come on now.
Put the caveat in there. See how you fucking changed the narrative? Like,
no, you changed it.
No,
you changed it, and I'm rebuttaling it because
no, all this athletic shit is brand new. If you go back to the days of us watching football in the 80s, none of them fucking linemen were athletes, bro. They were big, burly, strong fuckers. They don't give a fuck about no footwork back in the day. They just mauled you. Like when
Yeah.
what were they called? The Hogs in Washington.
Yeah.
Them big some bitches couldn't do 2 fucking jumping jacks in rhythm, but they will say hike and plow your ass into the turf and let
Facts.
John Riggins run off.
Yeah.
That's why
but
they went.
see,
The game has changed, I know, but I'm just saying, you still
it
got to
it
be strong.
it has changed, and you got to change with it. But and on the line, defense and offense, your feet are the most important.
Okay,
Your first step and the quickness of that is
I won't fight you.
absolutely gold.
I won't fight you, but I'll tell you this, and we can get the fuck off here. When number 99 from the Los Angeles Rams steps in front of you, not only is he fast as fucking got great handwork, stand there like that matters, and all you got to do is be quick on your feet and watch you be looking through your ear hole because that motherfucker's as strong as an ox.
You're putting words out there that nobody said. I never
Don't do
said
no push-ups,
you
lineman.
only need quick footwork. I've
Hey,
never
look,
said that. I said
Coach
it
Pat-
starts with the feet.
Coach Pat says just be a ballerina and he'll get
Bring
you to
Craig's
the NFL.
comment. Sammy, bring Craig's last comment. up.
I know what Craig said.
Yeah.
Feet are the foundation. Fine. Absolutely. You got to stand up. Cool.
Right.
But tell these guys don't go in the weight room. Just get ballerina feet and see how good their career is.
But nobody tells them that. They know better than that.
Oh,
Okay. Take your receivers. What's their number one weapon and technique? The ball says hike. The ball gets hiked. What's their first move? Their feet.
No, absolutely not. I can
Then
tell you
what
never
is it?
played. I can tell you never played on the outside.
A shoulder shimmy?
No, it ain't
A
nothing
little
about
hip rotation? What?
that. No, it's not about that. It's about using your hands. That's what the receivers have to be good at.
Only when they press you. If they ain't
Yeah.
pressing you, you don't have to use your hands. And after
Okay, so
5
they
yards,
just-
you're not allowed.
So now you're being conditional.
No, I'm not. I'm being honest.
So when you got a full-fledged bull rush, that's it. How does your footwork stop the full-fledged bull rush?
Because it gets you lined up in the proper body position to stop that bull rush.
Yeah,
You know,
but
if you're Sam Darnold and you're coming after me and you want to go up and you want to fight that monster, you're going to lose. But if you stay in your technique and your first step is back, now you're blocking that dude.
okay. So
If you see him shooting gap, your first step is back into the right.
I get all that. I'm not saying none of that.
First step is
I'm
what I was saying, Clyde.
Okay, I'm sure you can find all the clips you want that support that, and I'll find all the clips I want to support. Great footwork still gets mauled.
I'll bring in an O-line coach. My new mission is to bring an O-line coach in to educate your ass because you don't believe me.
No, all that's fine, but I'm saying I can show you a million clips where perfect footwork still gets dominated by strong as fuck defensive tackle destroying your life. That's all I'm saying. So 2 things.
9 times out of 10, I can show you where the footwork.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. All right, fucking Gus Bradley. All right, what's your final shit before we get out of here? Great fucking comments, great fucking time. Love that we're back live for these off-season shows for what it's worth at this moment. I think this. We might have seen the best of the free agency for the Colts. And it was bringing a lot of kids back home, right? Putting them right back where they were last year. And that's good for us because we understand their value. But I just don't know if we're going to go outside of that. We'll see. We'll see. But if there's marquee names out there and they were not already wearing blue, that ship may have sailed. I would like to see the totals. If anybody gets the actual tally of what's truly left for spending, because you already know Chris has to calculate what it's going to cost to have his draft pick signed. But if anybody can track that down and figure that number out, send that to us. Because I just want to work some math in my head. Because, this is his busiest offseason yet. And it's been signing all of our guys. And maybe that was a whole point. But what we can't say is that he wasn't active. It just wasn't. That's the irony of this. It just wasn't the activity that was, we bringing in new faces from all around the league. And I think the fans, you started the show with that. I think fans got a little agitated with that because it kept saying things like, "This is what I was reading." Like, yeah, that's great, but I'm also saying like every time you spend $1, where's the next dollar coming from? So I mean, that we were going to have to make a choice at some point, and I don't think we did. So then there's that. Well, when I say that, I'm saying he made the choice to sign his guys at some point, which then would limit signing outside guys, outside of like these small deals that we might continuously see with.
So let's pull another layer.
We're at an hour already.
That's all right. We're already over.
No, Craig, you're not.
If the rest of the NFL is watching how this organization treats their own, and this is more of a Carvey question because he dives into these kind of questions a lot, but wouldn't that make more people want to come here because they know
that's too many
Ballard's taking
hypotheticals.
care? It's a lot of high hypotheticals, but
I'm not.
I see it as a good thing. You know, you mentioned it too. We signed our own guys because we know their value.
Yeah, but I don't know if that play.
You just answered a lot of your own questions.
No, because we haven't won shit either. So it's not as if that the attraction to the outside or the attraction from the outside, I don't think is there.
Okay, let me ask you another question then. If Anthony Richardson would not have gotten hurt, are we in the playoffs last year?
I don't know, man.
See, I say yes. I say yes. We were one game away from being in the playoffs with friggin' Minshew.
But he didn't win any games either. He didn't actually win any games either.
No.
He lost the opener against the Jags. We would go on to lose that Tennessee game, the first one, which that's the game that put him out. He didn't finish Houston game, so we had to keep playing through that. And then the Rams game, great comeback, down big, had a chance to win it. Don't understand the fourth, the drive before we went to overtime, we lost it. So he didn't win the game.
I understand that, but the question is, do you believe we would be in the playoffs if AR was okay? See, I do.
Because you're like a hopeless romantic, man. You just it comes to the
I got a big heart. I got a big old heart.
You know what I'm fucking
now, if you ask my wife if I'm a romantic, she's gonna say, "Hell no! Who are you, fucking stupid?"
I am done.
But when it comes to my Colts, maybe I am a romantic. I don't know.
We're gonna take one more question before we get out of here.
I honestly,
Pat, we're at an hour. Fuck.
We would have been in the playoffs. So if I believe that, and maybe the organization believes it too, why not bring back your guys that know their value?
That's not a question. I'm just saying we are no better. Like I think it was Adam J. He just said we're no better than we were last year. Same squad.
No, but if we get AR back, we're totally different.
Bro,
I'm not. And hopefully we have JT for all 17, 18, 19 games, whatever the hell the NFL is going to do with the schedule. I don't know. But hopefully we have him back there. Hopefully we keep Evan Hall healthy to, let him rest. Let him do some pounding a little bit. Keep AR upright.
All right.
Start spreading that field. Start letting Pierce speed down that damn sideline and open shit up for us.
Yeah, but you're missing the point. You can't do that if you haven't established the inside threat. And we didn't establish the run really all year. We had moments, but it was not consistent like it's been.
Well,
and nobody's respected. He had Alec Pierce faced more doubles than anybody else in the league.
Then this is the question you got to answer with your roster. Can you establish that?
Well, I guess you don't have.
If you believe you can, then you stick with what you got. If you believe you can't, then you go somewhere else. That's just the way it is.
Pat, come on, man.
No, I'm not coming on because you're being one of these Twitter fans that blast everything,
bro. Because we've
just
seen
so you know you're right. Because if you blast everything, eventually you're gonna be right on something.
Okay, you know what?
And you're right on CP. I told you.
I'm right on this. We have not made the playoffs enough. and we only have
Factual.
one playoff win.
I
And so,
agree with you on that.
so the old adage is continuously doing the same thing, expecting different results is the definition of insane. Like definition of insane.
Get it? I
So
get it.
all of every point that I'm making is really breaking it down to that. Like I know what you may be, thought of as, but if you don't change, then you're just accepting the same. And then you don't want to look back at it like years after, a new rehire or something like, fuck, why didn't I just do that? Because you see this all the time with coaches. Coaches will ride their philosophy to the fucking edge of the gorge, knowing that it's time to jump off. And they're like, nope, we just gonna keep running power eye football and keep losing. Like, what? What fucking kind of plan is that?
This is hilarious.
How am I sound like Desperate Housewives with the
Bring
coach?
that comment up, Sammy.
I'm just telling you that I'm just simply stating that keep doing the same shit is going to get you in the same place. And every year, people are going to say, well, this is Ballard's last year. I've already said Chris Ballard ain't going nowhere. As long as Jim Irsay is still around, Chris Ballard would be our GM, win or lose. Yep. I don't know what he loves Chris Ballard. So
do we.
Okay, fine. But I'm just saying, like,
now we're not going to agree on everything, but we love him. I'll tell you right now, if anybody remembers the Peyton Manning errors, and I know you do, what did Polian draft consistently?
All offense.
Offense. Where did we struggle year in, year out? Why did we only go to 2 Super Bowls with the greatest quarterback ever known? Because of our defense. Now look how Ballard drafts. Go back and look at all his picks. Has he hit on everything? No. But he drafts on a balance.
I am not buying that horse shit.
You can buy whatever you want. It's your money.
Tony Dungy came with his philosophy, and Tony Dungy came with the idea that he could do the exact same thing. Tony Dungy, love the guy to death, but Tony Dungy never, ever, ever had the core of defensive players consistently that he had in Tampa. It's the same fucking defense. Tampa 2. That's where we fucking ran. But he didn't have the levels figured out. He had 2 great bookends, never a true, real solid fucking quarterback of the defense, i.e. a linebacker. Guess you can call it Gary Brackett, but Gary Brackett ain't Derek Brooks. And Bob
Fred Warner, is he?
Yeah, Bob Sanders couldn't stay healthy. We never had a Rondé Barber type corner. We never had a John Lynch consistent safety. We had issues there. Now you can put that on Polian, and I get it, but we also had free agency money too, and we never really spent a lot of free agency dollars to bring in like big stud athletes on offense. The Colts never signed like, oh God, this is the best whoever, bring him in on offense. He always drafted his guys, and every now and then he pick up somebody off the fucking waivers. But he drafted Reggie, he drafted Marvin, he drafted Dallas Clark. Of course, they drafted Peyton Manning. So those are the weapons. Drafted Stokely. Like, we never picked up a Randy Moss or some crazy shit that was out there, made some crazy trade. We drafted Edgerrin James. Like, we never did any of that. So I just don't understand why we never turn the keys over to Dungy. It's like, hey, man, go get the dudes you want on defense. That never made sense to me. Because Jason fucking David playing cornerback in a Tampa 2 was, might as well put Moon Pie out there. What the fuck is he going to do? You know what I'm saying? And on that note.
See, you don't have to do nothing. Papa will do it for her.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, yeah, like Kelvin Hayden, Marlon Jackson. No, those dudes. Look, man, I know those are fan favorites, but nah, dog. Like, come on, man. The Tampa 2 defense and Tampa Bay Warren Sapp at defense, because that was a problem. We never had like a defensive tackle to really wreck shit. I get it. We had bookends, but they really got one. They're like one trick ponies. You know, like, hey, look, the white Freeney gonna spin around you and get by you. Robert Mathis gonna do something athletic, but up the gut, you can have all the yards you want. Tampa didn't give up no fucking rushing yards in their height. They dominated.
The only DT I can think of in the past was Saragusa.
But he wasn't on a Dungy defense.
No,
that shit was 1,000 years ago.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm agreeing with you. I don't remember ever having that DT that just freaking
No,
stops.
we
A
did not.
friggin'
I mean,
freight
we
train.
had Corey Simon for a little bit, but Corey Simon ain't fucking, Warren Sapp or somebody like that. Corey Simon was
Sam
never
Darnold,
what
or not Sam Darnold,
Aaron Donald
Aaron
or
Darnold,
fucking DeForest Buckner. We never
Forrest
had that.
Buckner. Yeah.
Yeah, we never had that. So that's neither here nor there. We're not fucking, debating the Colts 2000 to 2010 years. I'm just saying Chris Ballard needs to do something different. Not that I'm critiquing him, but I'm saying right now, all the picks that are all the players that have been resigned are just that. All the players that have just been resigned. And that doesn't make us no better than we were last year. Glad to have them.
Okay, so
Damn it, just let me have the last word. What the fuck are you?
I can't because you're wrong. You say it doesn't make us better resigning these guys, but would we be worse if we didn't?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Really?
Well,
So don't
we'll
sign
never know.
MPJ, and we're not any worse.
No, that's not the same. We knew he was the guy to sign. We knew that was going to happen.
Okay, let Kenny Moore go. Did we get worse, or did we get better?
Kenny Moore?
Yeah,
No, it's the same. I think
it grew.
it's equal.
It-
Equal.
so,
All equal.
so we're just stagnant.
No, it was okay. Question. Was Grover the best defensive tackle available? Fuck no.
No.
Okay. Thank you for running through your mind. So we're equal. Grove definitely supports the run game. Got it. But he don't get sacks really that much. He's not a force. Like his pressures are, yeah.
Yeah, see, I disagree there. He does a
God.
damn good job pressuring those guys.
Is he Chris Jones?
No.
Okay, fine. Then what the fuck we talking about? Is he Christian Wilkins?
No,
Okay.
he's
So
Grover
see,
Stewart.
that's my point, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. I am not critiquing that, but I'm saying re-signing him just puts you right where you were last year. You get a chance to be better than you were, absolutely, but just ranking the evaluation of bringing the same guys back, you can only be what you just were. Like we still have the fucking sham defensive scheme that is Gus Bradley. We have already put the chips down for him for another season. So who's to say anything will change? I have no idea. Maybe not. But you still are going up against things that are already at play. And I think you just have to be fucking aware of that. As much as we love these guys, as much talent as we know them to have, we are still putting the same dudes in the same positions. So will an extra year make them that much more, dominant? I don't know. This is year 3 of this Gus Bradley shit. And all these dudes have played in it. Nobody's new. Kitty played it in 2 years. First year, he hated it. Last year, he seemingly adapted. He played better. Grover's been in this shit pretty consistent across the board, I guess. Tyquan got hurt 1 year, came back last year, looked pretty solid, only had 4 sacks, but he's a great locker room guy. Like, all I'm saying is this is the same same production, none of these dudes have had off the chart numbers in any of these years. So you can't sit here and say bringing them back makes you any better. You're the same at the best to start anything right now.
But, all right.
I know what you're saying, but we didn't bring in a 16.5 sack guy from last year. If you would have done something like that, or Danielle Hunter, 14.5 sack guy last year. If you would have did something like
what
that,
Hunter get? What Hunter's contract get? What did
I didn't see the numbers. 4
dude
years
from Miami get? Didn't he get like $100 million or something? I could have swore I just seen somebody
got
made that on the chat. I don't remember exactly what I get. So how are you going to bring in a guy like that and keep your own?
Because you realize you are moving on from your own. That's how.
Okay, but that goes back to my original statement. We kept our own and we spent 120 million. They spent 100. They spent 90% of that on one guy.
I'm not upset with that either way. I'm just simply stating based off of your initial statement. This is it. Your initial statement was you feel like bringing our same guys back is a good thing and we're going to be better. And you related that to AR being injured. So you had a lot of fucking, scenario synopsis there.
Oh, I got them all day long, dude.
AR don't play defense, so he can go out there and put up quarterback numbers like hell. And if we can't get the stop that we need, which we've seen in a lot of games, then what? Because we, so you're in the same fucking boat. Like the dude is playing out of his mind, and he's doing incredible shit. But guess what? We needed a big stop in the OT game against the Rams. Guess who couldn't get it? We didn't even get the ball that game in OT.
This will be my final thought, and I'll shut the hell up.
We should have been gone.
We should have been
gonna
gone
kill
20
you.
minutes ago. I know. All right. So when a team wins the Super Bowl, what happens to that team?
You better hope they're all on contract. Or
They
they're going everywhere.
They typically get cherry picked, right?
Yep.
So it's real hard for teams to go back to back.
And we
It's
just
real
seen it.
hard.
We
It's
literally
real
just
hard.
did
We've
it.
seen it. We've seen it. We've
Literally
seen it
just
this year.
passed this year. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's extremely hard. And this was not the Chiefs of 2 years ago, was it? Because they keep getting cherry picked. All right. So if you know this, if this team had won the Super Bowl, you see what I'm saying? And you don't bring your own guys back in, everybody's calling for your head.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this a Super Bowl championship team? I don't know. We'll find out. But you ain't gonna find out if it is if you don't bring your guys back that you've already been working with, that you've already been coaching with, that you've already spent so much time, energy, and effort on. And this is the core of this Colts.
Pat,
Everybody that he's bringing back.
Nobody said that. I simply said you're in the same boat as you were last year. You're the same team.
I'm saying
that's all I said.
But the difference, what I'm saying is, if you win the Super Bowl and you let all these guys go, you're shit, and your team's going to be shit.
Not necessarily.
But if you bring those guys back, everybody's happy, right? Because why? Because they know their value, they know their worth, they know what they can do on the field. They know this, they know that, they know this. Versus bringing in the shiny free agent.
Okay.
Those have a lot of unknowns.
But
they really do. I wish I had a staff that could get me stats left and right, because
but you also
what
got
my little pea brain remembers with a lot of free agencies, 90% of them don't work out. You pay them huge ass money and they don't work out.
Okay. You're also looking at the value of a single player. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm talking about building a team. You can't keep drafting in the if you're drafting in the same
why he
region.
re-signed his guys.
Listen. If you're drafting in the same region every year, that's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. So if you're in the bottom half of the draft of the first round every year, you're probably doing solid. Whether you're winning Super Bowls or not, you're consistently making the playoffs because you're drafting in the playoff numbers. If you're in the fucking lottery every year, you're terrible. Okay. So the Colts have kind of been hit or miss, right? Like, and we're leaning closer toward the middle and a couple times in the top. That's not good. So what I'm saying is, it's not about paying your guys and all this other shit, because a lot of these guys he got for steals. 7-round picks are starting at linebacker. That's unheard of. EJ Speed and fucking Zaire Franklin are both 7-rounders. Grover Stewart might have been unsigned and picked up. I mean, he's done some masterful Billy Bean type shit over his 7 years. But I'm also saying that is not then measured up in success with winning and actually division titles and any of the things that measure the success of a team. We have not had that correlate quite yet. So all I'm simply stating is, you have to, somebody said it, you're sprinkling in veterans here and there, fine, but you really need to change the recipe where you have more of these veterans that can play, right? Because you played against them or you just see what they're doing in the league, and not just taking risks on, I'm signing my guy again, but I know my guy is still second or third tier. No knock on Grover Stewart. Love the guy. Grover Stewart is not a top-notch 1A defensive tackle. Love the guy. Okay? That's all I'm simply stating. Like, whoever we bring in is usually not that guy, and that's fine. But then sometimes they're not even a second tier guy. And then that's where we start having issues. So we're not even really bringing in veterans that make a difference because they're one and dones. Look at all the veterans we brought in, one and dones. To include a stud like Gilmore because he wanted to trade. It's like, man, this team ain't trying to win. What the fuck? Y'all not trying to win no shit. Get me the fuck out of here while I still can get a decent contract somewhere. That's what I'm talking about. Drafting is great. You need that. You cannot build a team without the draft. But I'm sick of people pretending like teams only win because of the draft, because that's not accurate.
Okay, I'm sick of people always saying that your team only going to win if they sign all the fucking free agents that come out.
I didn't say all of them.
You've
You've never heard me say all of them. You ain't never even heard us say that. You go get what you need. So I tell you what, before we signed anybody else, what did we need? We needed an edge corner. Still haven't done that. And we needed a safety. Still haven't done that.
And in my opinion, I think we need a tackle and a guard too.
Fine. Didn't do that either. So you re-signed all your guys and all the places that, hey, yeah, these were going to be holes, but based on the evaluation of last season and the year before and all this other shit, those have remained holes, and we haven't fixed it. And you're not going to always fix everything in the draft because guess what? This kid has to learn how to play. And you only learn how to play by A, playing, but B, having veteran presence, because I don't care how much coaching you get. Just like when you're a little kid, you have more desire to learn from your peers. Coaches coach. Coaches talk at you. Coaches can't do the shit that they're telling you to do anymore. It's rare that your coach can come out there and run the route they want you to run. It's rare that the quarterback is going to have the quarterback coach that can make the exact pass that they need him to make. That's fucking rare. You learn from your peers. That's why they always talk about locker room guys and veteran presence and all that other shit. But I'd rather have a veteran that actually still plays and actually is fucking a really good player than just a dude that's been on the team for 4 years. Because that ain't the same.
And I'm not. This is the thing. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just, if it was me, I would be going the other way.
All right.
That's it. I'm not disagreeing with you. Now, I disagree with some of the fans that say any name that shows up is tied to the Colts. God, I hate that. You know, oh, free agent. This guy is getting released.
I say this.
He should go to the Colts. No, fuck that.
I say this. It's not basketball. It's not basketball. So name me, if you can, you probably can't do it tonight, but do some research. Somebody out there, let's research going into the next week. Give me a super young roster that won Super Bowls. Super young roster. Because for many years during this ballot era, Colts have been top 3, 4, 5 at the worst.
And the
youngest. And then I don't know. Somebody got to do some research. Tell me how many teams have come out like that year after year and been successful deep into the playoffs and won the shit. I mean, you can use Brady as being a young quarterback and winning, but he didn't have a team full of fucking kids. Them was some old vets, old wily vets on that motherfucker.
So you re-sign your guys that are now veteran presence, getting ready to come into the draft. It's a win-win. I'm done. Okay. I'm done.
Well, let's win-win. Let's get 13 wins this year.
Let Clyde say another word.
Okay, get 13 wins this year, then some bitch. It's a win-win. Win me the division, then we could win chicken dinner all you want to. Craig,
you got it.
I didn't think we got no fucking Monopoly money. Fuck all that shit. I'm just saying this team is no different than last year at this moment. Now, if
we are.
I want to be wrong tomorrow, go get me some new blood and add it to the old blood.
We have the veteran presence re-signed with the draft coming up.
Well, Chris Ballard has you to support anything he does. He could draft fucking me. Yeah. Like, you know what? I've been telling y'all for years, Clyde's a great running back. We're going to see.
Hey, I've been Clyde's #1 fan for years.
Thank you, Mark. It is the same team. Hey, man. Sammy, take us the fuck home after an hour and a half.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast and Bill Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.